Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the pre-match press conference ahead of the Polish match tomorrow, joined by Robbie Keane, Martin O'Neill, and our interpreter from Poland, Robert, who probably won't be needed. And we will work with items to start with. Thank you for your help, Robert. And if any Polish journalists do want to ask a few questions in Polish towards the end, you're more than welcome to do so. So we'll open it up. Stay there, Robert. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I'll open it up straight to the floor for questions. Thank you very much.
Martin, it looked like everyone trained today. Have you come through the last session with a clean bill of health?
Yeah, we have. Players are now looking forward to it. It's getting very close now, and it's pretty exciting.
You said yesterday there was still competition for places. It's still 100% decided. Have you now? Is it clear in your mind the team you'll pick?
I think I have a fair idea of what the side will be. Yeah, but when I say there's competition for places, I think it's always the case, and I think that you have to see if there are possibilities happening. I think maybe even somebody doing well in training might actually change your mind about something or other. But overall, yeah, I think I've a fairly decent idea about things.
I realise it's difficult to read too much into what we saw when it's 13 aside, but is 3-5-2 a possibility?
I think that I think genuinely everything is. I think we have to be aware that if we change the system, that the players will know. Some players here play that system at club level, so it's something that they're pretty used to. Other players just take a wee bit more adapting, but no, overall I think they're pretty comfortable anyway, regardless of what system we do.
Martin, are there benefits to that system in that it gets Robbie the support he needs, likes playing the two up top, James Coleman further up the pitch, three in midfield? Does it solve a lot of problems?
No, I think that if some particular system in the game solved every single problem, everybody would be using it. I think, like everything else, there are advantages of a certain system, whatever system you want to play, and of course there are very obvious flaws as well too. But I think adapting to it is the most important thing.
Martin, you've obviously vastly experienced manager and have been in these situations with these sorts of games plenty of times at club level. But can you appreciate the view that this game, with where it's coming, the time when it's coming against Poland in the group leaders, this kind of shapes the regime, or your regime so far, in terms of the importance? A win, obviously, is huge for you.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about me. I think the importance of the occasion shouldn't be missed. We've played 4 games now. We've picked up 7 points, and naturally, I'll just go back over it again. Naturally delighted to have got something in the Germany game. Brilliant effort. Disappointing to lose in Scotland. Said all along that our games now at home will shape our destiny. This is the first one of it. First one of a group of games, nevertheless a very important one against a team that have started off brilliantly in the competition. So it might not decide everything, but it is very, very important.
You want your players to embrace, as professional footballers, as international footballers, you want them to be able to embrace that sort of situation, don't you?
Yeah, I think. I hear this talk about the Aviva not getting the players not maybe getting the results that in the last couple of years. But I think, like everything else, these things you can change it. You can change it with one game, one fantastic performance, and but I think we know that talking about tomorrow evening, we'd really have to be on top of our game to win this match, and I think the players are aware of that, and I certainly am myself.
Martin, there's been a lot of talk about Robert Lewandowski this week. Would it be dangerous to think he's the only threat that Poland possess to you?
Oh, I think that absolutely. He's a top-class player. He's one of the best strikers in European football, and playing for a side that's capable of winning any competition in Europe. He's very, very important to them, but he is not the only player. We've seen this in the group. They're not a one-man team. They've got a number of top-quality individuals playing in the side who are able to create things for them. So I agree with you. I wouldn't just get carried away with the one player.
Martin, Liam Brady's written a very downbeat piece, headlined "Why Our Fear for this Ireland team." And in it he says that he doesn't know whether James McCarthy is just shy or really has a passion to play for Ireland. Now obviously he was his assistant manager when McCarthy first made his debut for Ireland. Have you, I don't know, is that view as expressed by Brady, what would you have to say about it? It does sound rather sort of unhelpful on the eve of a match.
What? Well, people are entitled to say what they want. I wasn't aware of it. I didn't know that Liam had said made these comments. He's entitled to make the comments. It's entirely his own prerogative. So I don't think that's the approach that we should be going into the game with, a pessimistic approach. I don't think you get too far with that. But I think the players, I think they're looking forward to the game. I think they're ready for the match, and I think only time will tell, obviously. But I'm not overly concerned about what people say before the game. Absolutely entitled to an opinion.
And James McCarthy is ready and ready and sort of raring to go, is he, for this game?
Well, James is. He's had a few problems, as you know. He had hamstring problems way back some time ago. Had to take quite a few weeks out of the Everton team. He's back. He's played a number of games now in pretty well quick succession as well too. He got a couple of days here to get over things, as did Seamus Coleman, because they played on the Sunday, and there was a little bit of time off during the week. So I'm hoping that he, plus the rest of them, are okay. I'm hoping he's okay.
Liam says he questions McCarthy's passion. You don't, do you?
Well, James is actually in 1 year. Has actually only played one game for us. Only started the game against Georgia. That's it's almost exactly a year. So this will be his second time round for us. And I have no need. I don't think I have any need at the moment to be questioning anyone's passion for playing for Ireland. Genuinely don't think that. I think I've said that a number of times. It's not just it's not just a soundbite. I genuinely feel that. We might not perform as well, but that doesn't mean that the players don't want to play. Absolutely not.
Martin, do you think there's almost more than 3 points at stake in terms of the mood, the atmosphere a win could create around the team in the stadium?
I think all of those things are probably after effects. I think just let's go with it. Let's deal with the importance of the game. It's a big match for us, and especially losing against Scotland in the game. Then we have to go now. We're at home. We've got to try and make that count. I don't know. I'm not. My own experiences of playing competitive matches at the Aviva are pretty limited. I've only had one, and that was against the side that we were expected to win, and we did so. And we did so convincingly, which was great. But the players tell me, and Roy tells me, that the place will be pretty atmospheric. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope it is. I'm sure it will. But like everything else, we have to do something about it as well to keep that atmosphere alive.
Martin, do you see any similarities with Poland, the way they play, any of your former club teams, and like say Celtic or Aston Villa, and does it give you an edge maybe in trying to put a stop to them?
No, I've watched it now naturally from a distance, or if you're talking about DVDs, I'm DVD'd out, to be perfectly honest, and they possess some really good players. I think that when we have the ball, I think we have to be really positive. I think when we don't have it, sounds really very, very obvious, but I'm stating it anyway, that we have to be able to close down pretty quickly, prevent the real quality players getting on top of us, and it wouldn't be much different to what you would be expecting to do in a normal game, a normal important game. Winning the ball, using it properly, trying to create something during the course of the game. Onus is on us as the home side to do that, and I think and I'm hoping the rest will follow. The minute that we lose possession of the ball, we try and get it back as quickly as possible. So, yeah, I mean, the Polish side have similarities to other national sides, other club sides that I've played, yes. and I'm sure you can plan, you know, but they may have some plans for us as well too.
Martin, since you moved into management, you've probably had, this is probably the longest period of time you've had to prepare for a game. I'm sure coming into the week you had a lot of ideas about tactical formations and starting 11.
Yeah.
What you've seen on the training ground over the last week, has that altered your thoughts usually?
I think that yeah, there are one or two things that you think that listen, I should have thought about that a wee bit more carefully, or something like this, or some player might do something in the training that might not have thought he was starting, and then suddenly he's had a very, very good week. I think you take those things into consideration, but you're right. It's been a long time to prepare. You know, we had the game against Scotland. A couple of days later, we played the USA. At least we felt pretty decent about that, but it was only a friendly game, and Christmas has come and gone, and now we're into the end of March. Yes, it's a long time, and I think that for the questions that have been asked about, or just there recently, I think it's because of that length of time the game itself becomes so important. We have only 10 matches in which to perform. You know, it's not like a full 38 game season. We have the 10 matches. That's why this game becomes vitally important.
Martin, what importance do you place on a team talk as part of your management, and to what extent is it just based around players knowing their job, or as a motivational theory?
Oh, I think motivation is very, very important. You know, I've been as a player, I've been lucky enough to be involved in some with some great motivators, and I think that's very important. But I think that, funnily enough, in terms of motivation, one of the things that great motivators used to say to us was, know your jobs, do your jobs, know it and do it. You know, two different things. I think we all thought as players that we knew what our jobs were, and doing them was the defining element of it all.
Robbie,
Absolutely.
Sorry, Robbie, how are you feeling ahead of this game, and what are your emotions about? Obviously, you've been in these sorts of occasions before, but how are you feeling ahead of this particular one?
Yeah, I feel very good. It's been a good week's training, and you know, personally, I feel very, very good, very sharp. So I think, like the gaffer said earlier on, I think everyone is just excited now to get the game going. And it's been a few months coming out, and you know, since the last game against Scotland, you know, I think the players are certainly desperate to play another game. So yeah, I think you could see that in training this week, and the atmosphere and the intensity of the training has been very, very good. The lads have been sharp, so I think we're just excited now to get it going.
Robbie, the Poles have been quite disrespectful of the team this week, saying that we're a long ball team, we're just ready to fight. Do you pay much attention to that?
I honestly didn't even know that. I've not read anything this week, so I wasn't aware of that. Listen, we know what we have to do. We know what we're capable of doing. We're playing against a very, very good team. We're aware of that, but we're a good team ourselves. So, playing in the Aviva Stadium, we're a packed stadium. I'm sure the atmosphere will be electric. So it's up to the players to create a good atmosphere. We've worried about. Can't worry too much about Poland. We've seen everything we have of them all week, as the man said, with the DVDs, and so we know everything we know about them. It's just up to the players now to go out and perform.
Robbie, it could be almost a turning point for the team in the Aviva Stadium.
Well, that's up to us, isn't it? It's up to us to make sure that we get a good result, and going forward, that could create a huge confidence boost for certainly the players in the country.
Martin, how did the evening's entertainment go down last night?
Well, yeah, I enjoyed it. I must admit, I thought it was good fun. It was a nice little break, and there was one or two elements of it I probably from a distance didn't catch, or didn't realise what might have
Well,
happened.
the fact I was 10 playing in the World Cup. That was a bit strange.
Yeah.
Me and Duffer's 10 years of age. I thought I was 21 in the World Cup.
What?
I thought I was 21 years of age playing in the World Cup, but according to last night I was 10.
You were 10?
Yeah.
So.
Did you enjoy it, Robbie, overall, or did you find it a bit irritating? For sure.
It was okay.
Robbie, how important obviously you weren't picked to start in the last competitive game. How important is the game for you tomorrow, from a personal point of view, in terms of the chances of you starting and
Well, obviously that's that's up to the manager. It's his choice, and if called upon, I'll be ready, whether that's be starting or whether it's on the bench. So I'm here for the for the team. As captain, I have to make sure I have to lead by example and set an example to other players. And of course, like any player, you want to play in any game. That's obviously fairly obvious. That's why we play. That's why we want to play as professionals, and we want to play as often as we can. So, like myself and the rest of the players, we're desperate to play and certainly be raring to go if we get that opportunity.
Robbie, Jonathan Walters, can you tell us what makes him such a good player and why do you like playing alongside him? I'm not saying you will tomorrow night, but...
No, John he's you know exactly what you're getting from John. He's a very, very honest player. He makes it hard for the defenders. He doesn't give them a minute, and obviously he scores goals as well, which we've seen obviously with Stoke. So aside from that, he's a great person to have around as well. He's a good lad, and he's one of our experienced players. He's a good leader, and it's important to have players like that around the squad, because certainly for the younger players and the players that haven't played as many games as myself and a few experienced players, to see the attitude of someone like John. He's been brilliant since coming day one, and he's always a threat. For opposition. People don't like playing against him.
Is he a big talker, Robbie, or is he kind of one of those just leads by example on the pitch?
A bit of both. He certainly leads by example on the field. There's no question. You could see that in his desire, and he gives it everything he's got. So he's a huge player for this squad.
Martin, in terms of formations, would it be fair to say that a 3-5-2 might get the best out of Robbie Brady in terms of his attributes?
I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. I think that players, I think nowadays players can become adaptable, and I think they can become adaptable pretty quickly. If you're talking about Robbie, he's been used to a number of systems there at Hull vary. I mean, I know he didn't participate last Sunday, but they started off against Chelsea with 3 at the back. Found themselves a couple of goals behind and changed it to a 4. So, for instance, Paul McShane played left side centre back in the first 15 minutes of the game, then changed to playing right back in the match. Felt pretty comfortable speaking to him, so he felt okay about it. So the players, particularly at Hull, have been used to changing round in systems, so I don't think it's a major problem.
Martin, what are you expecting tomorrow night?
In what sense?
In terms of expecting a reaction from the Scotland game, what sort of performance are you expecting from our team, the opposition? Just what do you?
Well, I think that if the Scotland game had been last week, I think that you can talk about an immediate reaction. But because it's been quite some time ago, I think we have to concentrate. I think you have to leave the game. I watched the Scotland game over again, and whether you agree or disagree, there was nothing between the two sides. Eventually, we about 3 or 4 minutes before they scored, we nearly had the ball in the net. The goalkeeper's made a really great save. Hasn't been talked about much. Touched it round for the corner, and we hit the bar in the last minute of the game, almost salvaging a point from the match. What we have to do is look at where we are at the moment. We've picked up 7 points. We've played 3 away from home. We've given ourselves a chance. That was when the draw was made, and when the games were set aside, were set out. That was the first thing I looked at, to know that we had of the first 4 games, 3 are away from home. We could have been out of the competition before we were ever in it. We've given ourselves a chance by winning in Georgia, getting a point in Germany. The games here were always going to be important. Now they've come round, so we're ready for them, we hope. You have to be ready for it now. No point in being ready on Monday morning. Let's be ready tomorrow night. Let's go and perform. Let's perform to the best of our ability, and if we do that, we'll go close in the game.
Martin, all the teams come in from the cold this week, and really seems to have turned his career.
Sorry, who?
Paul McShane.
Yeah.
He seems to have reignited his career over the last couple of months. As well. Your impressions haven't been.
Well, I didn't know Paul before that. Yeah, Paul, you're right. He has, and that's great credit to him. He looked as if he was out in the cold there for quite some time at Hull. Something has changed, whether it's a collection of circumstances, I don't know. But he has taken that opportunity to get back into the side and looks as if he's taken it very well indeed. I don't pretend to know him that well. He's the first squad that he's been involved in since I've been in here. But at least now that playing club football and playing reasonably regularly, certainly in the last 5 or 6 weeks, has obviously got a big mental change to it anyway. He looks physically in decent condition. We have a number of centre halves at this minute, but it's up to him now to next couple of squads that we have to be around, to be in it. We have got a period in June time where we've got a lead-up game with England before the Scotland match. There'll be time to meet up as well too. But I think he's actually delighted to be back in the fold again.
How much do you agree that defeat would mean automatic qualification is gone?
I think that will be a big dent. I'd have to look at that there. If we were beaten tomorrow night, it'd be a big dent in proceedings, as you would expect that, you know. So we have to try and win the game.
Martin, how much will the club form of Shay Given and David Ford influence your decision to pick a goalkeeper? Or, like, is that really up for question? Because I suppose David hasn't put much of a foot wrong in the qualifier.
It's you make a very valid point, and I'm going to refrain from answering it.
Robbie, could I just ask Robbie, 17 years ago, when a few of us in the room were in far off Olamush this week, and when you made your debut for Ireland, 65 goals.
How many years? 17?
17 years ago this week?
And you're right.
When I was 2, yeah.
What has sustained you? Has the Galaxy move sustained your international career, given it an extra sort of chapter that you might not have got if you'd not gone there? And are there more international goals in you?
Yeah, of course there is. I mean, I wouldn't be here if I didn't think that. Has the Galaxy helped me? I'm not too sure. I think I've helped myself, because the way I keep myself and the hunger and the desire that I have. It's okay having the ability, but if you don't have the hunger and desire, wanting to play and want to still be the best and want to still score goals, well, you're not really going to do too much. So I still have that, and I've always had it since I made my debut the first day, and nothing has changed since then. So I'll stop playing and hopefully stop scoring goals when literally I can hardly walk. That's how much I love playing. It's fairly simple.
And Robbie, people like Brady are saying we don't have the players now. I mean, is tomorrow a chance for you and the players to show? I mean, we talked earlier about 2002. Do we still have the players, and is tomorrow a stage where that can be shown?
Well, hopefully that'll be the case. You know, we certainly have the players. There's no question about that. We've got a lot of quality players in our team, and inside that camp, we certainly know that and well aware of that, and we know that we're quite capable of putting a performance on against anybody. So regardless what anyone else says, we believe that we can go against Poland tomorrow and get 3 points.
Robbie, can you believe it's 17 years since you made your debut?
Not really, no. It's gone quick, very quick, too quick.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.